Anyway, I wanted to talk about some of these questions with a guy named Lev Grossman, who is a novelist, and he also reviews books for Time magazine. And last January, he wrote an article about how the digital age is going to reshape literature. So I thought he'd be an interesting guy to talk to. And here are a few of the predictions that he made in his article. He said, since electronic books are not bound by physical constraints, novels will get longer. There will be more serials. Writers will be able to update their work. Narrative will still be important, maybe even more important, and it's going to have to move really quickly to keep up with the pace of digital reading, which presumes, I guess, that we're going to be reading faster. And not surprisingly, he said there will be a literary culture of immediate gratification. I don't know if that surprises anyone, but anyway, before calling him, I wanted to read his novel called The Magicians. And I don't know if any of you have heard of this, but The Magicians is a sort of adult version of Harry Potter and the Chronicles of Narnia combined. And I didn't know that, though, really. Didn't know too much about it when I got the book. So I opened the book, and right there on the inside cover is one of those maps, you know, that you find in kids' books. You know, it has a little pine forest over here and a castle here and, you know, little arrows pointing to various sundry places. And it wasn't what I was expecting to find in his book, because somehow I was looking to him for the future of books, and then I get sort of thrown back into my childhood, you know, by this map, which I loved, because it was the kind of map that, if you remember when you read books when you were a kid, you'd get lost in the book, and they'd mention, you know, the woods of Dunmore, and you'd go, oh, where are the woods of Dunmore, and you go back to your map. You know, it was that kind of a map. So I called him up and I said, this map, Lev, tell me about this map. It wasn't what I was expecting. And he said, yeah, I know. I said, and I referred to it as a crudely drawn map. He said, yeah, and I had to keep fighting with the book designer to make it more crudely drawn, because they kept wanting to neaten it up, you know. So there is something about that map that sort of reassures me about the future of reading and the future of books. And it sort of makes me feel like ebooks are not going to overtake the world, because at this point anyway, and I don't know for how long, but at this point anyway, you really couldn't duplicate that map on an electronic reader. I mean, you might be able to somehow put the picture there, but it just isn't the same thing.